Hi guys, how's it going tonight? Welcome to Real Ghost Hunting. We're here at Setauket Village Green, and this is the Setauket Presbyterian Cemetery. A lot of history here that deals with this area, so we're going to take you through and do an investigation. This location actually took place. It was where one of the first skirmishes before the American Revolution happened. So right here, we're just across from the battlefield, and we're going to be investigating the cemetery. So come and join us while we try and find some ghosts. Ready? Yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back in here and try and keep your lights steady. July 31st, and it is 10:20. Alright, so first thing I want to do, they cut all these bushes down. Usually when you're back in here, it's a lot more closed in. Actually, it's funny because right here where we are, where this little thing is here, there used to be really tall bushes around this area, and we used to come in, and they've actually had shadow people experiences in this area, but there's none here now. So what we'll do is we'll take our equipment out, get set up, see what we see. I want to set up this on the ground. The good thing is I have Tic Tacs on me. And I can use it to prop this up. Okay. So I brought a bunch of different types of stationery. This is a geophone, and when we turn it on, if something were to walk by, it should set the meter off. You just stuff here, and that's that. Also going to set up my electro-smog. Now in that building there's definitely some Wi-Fi in there. Sometimes we get some reading. I want to drop this over here. So hopefully we can spread out and maybe see something. What do you have?
We have 2 guidance counters.
Okay.
I mean, 2 thermometers.
Okay. Good. And then tonight we're using a new camera. I'm not sure if we used it in any of the previous episodes. This is actually a UV camera. I don't know if you can tell because you're looking through a pink lens, but on here is a UV filter. It's a bandpass filter. And what happens is the bandpass filter only lets in UV light. So if there's a spirit that's manifesting or walking around that's giving off UV light, this should be able to pick it up. It won't pick up pictures of anything else except for whatever's in the UV spectrum. That will glow whenever we take a photo of it. Okay, you can.
Right here I have the GX2 Geiger counter. It detects gamma and beta radiation. And right here is the peak thermometer. It detects humidity and ambience, if I'm not mistaken.
What happened?
This detects humidity and ambience, right?
So this is an ambient air temperature thermometer. It detects the ambient air around you. This probe will allow you to pick up the temperature that's right in front, about a foot. So if there's a cold spot or a hot spot, you're basically going to stick it in there and you'll be able to get a good reading. And that'll give you a good base. It also detects relative humidity. And the reason why relative humidity is important in this field is that if you do have high humidity in the air, that means there's a good chance you're going to get a lot of water vapor spots and things like that, which most paranormal investigators or ghost hunters will say is orbs.
All right.
But this will let you know that, hey, like for example tonight we know that there's 87% humidity. If there's a lot of spots in our pictures, it's moisture. It's not going to be from a ton of orbs. So orbs are self-illuminating balls of light. They give off their own light source. If it's reflecting off the camera's lens or the flash, it's not a true orb.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice little pressure.
Elliot is one of our newer investigators, so he's in constant training with all the equipment and learning about everything as we go on. These are monuments. They're monuments that sit above where the person is buried. So you've got this little, what looks like a table over it. So just don't walk in front of the probe. So let's start an EVP session. We also did bring with us an obelisk tonight, so we're going to try and do a quick obelisk session as well. Hi, how's it going tonight? My name is Dimitrios. I'm here with Elliot. Tom's our cameraman, but if you want to talk to him, he's here too. Now that you know who we are, can you tell me your name, please? Anybody hear whistling?
Heard that. I think it's the house over there.
Maybe.
It sounds like a couple of people.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a lot.
Never don't know.
What it is.
There is a lot of chirping from animals in the background, so it's important to filter that out, and there is traffic a little bit away from us. All these big bushes there.
How big were they?
Oh, they had to have been 8 feet tall.
Oh, wow. Cool. Did they encompass the whole little area? Or?
This whole section.
Wow.
This whole, not all of this. There were 2 of them. There was one set up here and one set up here. And I remember this tree in the middle because there's a pathway on the other side. And you walked in, and I remember having a huge feeling of like just uncomfortable, like somebody was there with us. And as we walked in and we were doing our investigation, I saw a big tall shadow person just come around the corner, and it was me, and it was actually an old investigator cat was with me in here, and it was a little freaky. A little freaky. Yeah. Yep. If you're here with us now, can you give us a sign of your presence? By making either a loud yell or some kind of bang, something that we can tell is you. I have a device over here that has a green light on it, but it moves from right to left, green to yellow to red. And we can use that as a way of communicating. If it's too hard for you to speak, maybe you can interact with that device. It's not going to hurt you. It means you no harm. It's just there. And if you want to reach in and touch it, you can, and you'll make the lights go off. And what I'll do is I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you'll make it blink twice for yes and once for no. This way, you'll let us know if you have an answer that you'd like to give us. Do you understand the rules of the game? Would you like to play? Twice for yes, once for no.
Those go up to this tree line, right?
Pretty close, yeah. Did you serve during the American Revolution? Twice for yes, once for no. Just no noises in the house.
Pretty sure this shadow figure is just moving right over there, right by the thing between that headstone and the giant tree.
So what I want you to do is pay attention to that area, but pay attention when the cars are passing.
Gotcha.
Because you just said that after a car passed.
Yeah.
And if you'll notice, if you look at this headstone right here, if you come back towards me, you'll see that there's a light on that headstone.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
A lot of these have a glaze over because they're marble.
Yeah.
And so what happens is as cars pass, you'll have a lot of reflection, and it'll make it look like a shadow's moving.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying you're not seeing a shadow person, but it's a good way to just know, like, you can't just focus on that. You have to focus on what's happening here, too, so that you can know. Cemeteries can be very tricky when it comes to that, because there's a lot of claims of shadow people at cemeteries, and 9 times out of 10 it correlates with traffic. So just make sure you know not just what's happening here, what's happening behind you as best you can, you know. Was that you running around here? Twice for yes, once for no. So there are two very important people that were here. One is Abraham Woodhull. Abraham Woodhull was a good friend of George Washington's during the American Revolution. You know, they say he haunts here. This little brick and what's it called? Monument here that's set up. This little mausoleum thing here that's set up is for him, and it's got a plaque with his name on it and stuff like that. Another person that's important to this area was Anna Strong. If any of you guys have seen the show Turn, it was an AMC show, went 5 seasons. That details the Culper Spy Ring with George Washington, and this area, this church that we're behind, played a very important role during the American Revolution, or just before the American Revolution started. So this is a great location. It's got a lot of history, and I love coming here.
Now, is his actual body in this?
You can turn. Huge important person in the town of Setauket, and in this church. This church is attended. Now, the original church was burnt down, but they rebuilt this one to match the way it used to go. Yeah. And this was all used in the filming of the show Turn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, cool. And that show takes place here in Setauket. Ambulance drove by. Very bright. It's crazy that such an important battlefield is cut in half into a street now. Alright, I'm going to end this EVP session. I'd like to thank you very much for speaking with us. We're going to be here for a little while longer. If there's something you want to say, feel free to say it anytime. Thank you.
What's that, like a shed? Like a thing?
That was weird.
Yeah.
I literally just felt like somebody was standing right behind me. Like, you know when you get that feeling, like you feel like that heaviness of somebody, like you don't want to turn around because you're like, this guy's going to mess with me or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it felt like somebody taller than me, like big shadow was just like right behind me. So.
I'm just trying to keep you on. I got you. Maybe it was the shadow that was from over there. Because I've been watching the cars coming.
Could be.
There's not really many reflections.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as you're trying to debunk along with investigating, because that's the most important thing, is trying to debunk. Because Occam's razor, simplest answer tends to be the right one. So, if you're out and you're investigating, and you're just saying, oh, well, that's a shadow person, but you're not trying to figure out why, you're doing yourself a disservice. Yeah, because you're giving yourself false positives. It sucks when you have to write it off, but you know what? You're growing and you're learning as an investigator, and that way, it makes you more well-rounded, so that when you do see something, you know there's no question of what's happening. Definitely. You know what I mean?
Definitely, definitely.
So, and it strengthens your evidence in the long run.
You get a strange vibe from this whole area back there.
People look back there. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is, we have probably another 10 minutes left here. So I want to gather our equipment up, or my equipment, And let's move a little bit more towards the back and let's see what's going on over there.
Go over there, good. Let's see that. I don't determine where it ends and where it starts.
Sometimes I like to look at the stones around me to ask EVP questions. Let's do a quick little audio session. Time. So right. Hi, how's it going tonight? My name is Dimitrios. There's Elliot. Tom's behind the camera. Don't mean you any harm. We just want to speak with you. Can you tell me your name? How you doing on equipment, Elliot?
Pretty good. Not many.
Quiet.
Yeah. It's probably the most just jumped all night. Not much though. Right before 1. Thankfully we got the move and look at the equipment with no split.
Right. I'm glad all those clouds cleared out.
Can you tell me what year it is?
Well, I'm trying to see if we get a word this year. This is
Those people or
just note the pack of hyenas apparently that live in the house behind us. Somebody told me that didn't sound like a pack of hyenas. Froze. Why can I probably do that? Well, this is not cooperating. Only going to be here for a couple more minutes.
90. Shot.
90 and shot. Is that how many people were wounded here?
Bath. Bill.
Okay. Bath Bill. Was it a warm bath or a cold bath? Just going to ask you one more question and we're going to wrap it up for the evening. And that's, did you serve during the American Revolution?
Say.
Picked and say. As in, Elliot picked his nose. You don't say. Okay. I'd like to thank you for speaking with us tonight. We're going to be wrapping up this investigation in a minute. So, if there's anything you want to say, feel free to shout it out now. Otherwise, we're going to be leaving you to your breath and peace. Equipment's quiet tonight too. All right, thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, so we're going to wrap our investigation here. It seems pretty quiet, so we're going to call it a night here at the Setauket Prysbeterian Cemetery. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this investigation. Obviously, we have to go through all of our analysis and our audio and photography and this video camera itself and make sure that we didn't capture anything paranormal. But don't forget to follow us, because in the new year, we're going to have our real ghost hunting show, where we're going to break down all these episodes individually and go over if and what we caught. So thank you guys for joining us, and until next time, take care, guys.
You guys wrapping up? Yeah, I just literally closed out the video. Well, we're in